Granny's, Abner. I believe that's our ring.
I dog it, Lum. I believe you're right.
I'll see. Hello, jot 'em down, store. This is Lum and Abner.
And now, let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Well, since Lum has learned that it takes about 2 months for a fractured leg to mend, he's been more unhappy than ever with his pretended broken leg. He feels guilty in accepting the kind favors of the townsfolk. He's worried that the insurance company will find out that his leg isn't really broken. And he's angered because he's prevented from courting the new school teacher, Miss Fredericks. As we look in on the little community today, we find Lum down at the Jot 'em Down store, grumbling to Abner about his predicament. Listen.
I know one thing. I'm not going to sit around here for no 2 months with my leg all bandaged up in splints.
Well, if you take it off any sooner than that, Lum, folks will find out it weren't sure enough broke. Doc Miller says if it's a bad break, it takes 3 months.
Well, this ain't no bad break then.
Well, you've been telling everybody it was.
Well, from now on, we're going to change that. Tell everybody it's just a little bitty break.
Yeah, we're going to keep on changing this story up to where folks is going to catch on that your leg ain't sure enough broke.
That's right, ain't it? Hey, Grannies, I never knowed one little story could get a body into so much trouble. The minute they heard about it, they started sympathizing with me to where now I can't tell them the truth.
Yeah, and then Squire sent that claim in for that accident insurance.
Yeah, that's the worst thing that's happened. I can't take no money from them.
No?
It'd be just the same as stealing.
Yeah.
And if I don't take it, I got to explain to them that my leg ain't broke, and then everybody will find it out.
Well, you're just going to have to keep them splints on there till it's had time to heal. Or till folks thinks it has anyway.
Well, if I stay around on these crutches for 3 months, that Frank Foster will have Miss Fredericks and gone.
Miss Fredericks?
The new school teacher.
Oh, her. Oh.
He'll have her married in that length of time. Fact is, I dreamed last night they was already married.
You did, huh?
Yeah, they stand up at the altar going through the wedding ceremony.
Well...
Granny, she was beautiful. Big bouquet of flowers in her arms. Mosquito netting hung clean down to the floor. Beautifulest sight I ever seen in my life. She sort of drifted in a big pink cloud.
Well, she's a nice-looking woman. Ain't no doubt about that.
I don't know what she sees in that Frank Foster. There's the silliest one human I ever seen in my life. Ideas of a growed man standing up at his own wedding getting married in a baseball suit.
Baseball suit?
Yes, sir. Even had his glove hung on his belt there.
The suit he wears when he plays with the Pine Ridge Pirates?
Yeah. Even had his cap turned around backward. Well, you seen him. You was standing right there.
I was, huh?
Of course you was. Don't try to let on like you don't know nothing about it. And I heard what you said to him, too. Fine friend you turned out to be. Shaking hands with her and told her what good judgment you thought she used in picking Frank for a husband. When you knowed good and well I was in love with her myself.
Well, Lum, I never done no such a thing.
Don't try to deny it. I heard you. I ain't deef. I ought to unsolve partnerships with you is what I ought to do.
Well, don't get mad at me over it, Lum.
Don't get mad at you when you turned again me?
I thought you said you dreamed all this.
I did. Huh?
Don't jump on me about something that you thought up yourself.
Yeah, all right. Let it go.
Oh, they're good.
But don't let it happen again. If they do get married, mind out what you say to them.
I will.
Granny, that Frank ain't got her yet. He might think he's married to her, but that was just a dream. I'll tell him that right now. He ain't beat my time with her yet, not by a long shot.
Well, Lum, you sit around over here talking about Frank beating your time. You ain't never let her know that you care anything about her yet. Fact is, you ain't never been with her.
Well, I can't. I've been on these crutches ever since she's been in town.
You could call her on the telephone and talk to her, couldn't you?
Oh, you know me on the telephone. Can't talk to somebody I just barely met, you might say.
Well, you talk about her all the time like you're in love with her.
I am in love with her.
Oh, you couldn't be. You ain't saw her over twice.
I guess I know when I'm in love. Love at first sight, that's what it was. Hi, Granny, if I ever get rid of these dead-blame crutches, I'll show that...
No, Cedric coming in.
Oh.
Cedric.
Don't say nothing in front of him.
No.
Better go on up front and wait on him.
Yeah. Come in, Cedric. What can we do for you?
Howdy. Hey, have you fellas got any of them boxes of chocolate candy?
Boxes of chocolate?
Yes, Mom. Like you give girls.
Oh, no, we ain't, Cedric.
You going to give Clarabelle a box of candy, Cedric?
Oh, no, Mom. I'm getting it for Frank Foster.
What are you doing giving Frank Foster candy?
Well, he wants to buy it. I'm just getting it for him.
Oh.
What's he going to do with it?
Oh, giving it to the new school teacher, I reckon, for I know he's going over to see her tonight. He got me to run the filling station for him.
I just happened to think, Abner, we've got some boxes of chocolates back there.
Where?
Come here.
Huh?
Don't you recollect them boxes of Christmas chocolates we had left over?
Oh, well, they're all melted and run together, Lum.
I know it. Well, get one of them for him.
Why, you don't want to give her something like that.
I don't. I want Frank to give them to her. She'll take one look at them and throw them right in his face.
Oh.
Yeah, Abner will get you a box, Cedric.
Okay, better get them then, Mr. Abner.
Yeah, I'll get them, Cedric.
How's your leg getting along, Mr. Lum?
Oh, it's getting along all right, I reckon, Cedric.
But just whereabouts was it you broke it?
Oh, different places. Right here, I believe it was, Cedric. Right about there. Just below the knee.
Well, Mose Moot said you told him just above the knee.
Well, you know that, Mose. He's high on everything. Even raised the price of haircuts down there at his barber shop.
Here you are, Cedric.
Well, good. How much do I owe you?
Well, they was $1, but I don't know.
Quarter's enough, Abner. Make my friend Frank a special price.
Oh, a quarter then, Cedric.
Let's see. Yes, Mom, here it is right here.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. And come back again.
Yes, Mom, I will. Well, so long.
That's all on.
Yeah, so long, Cedric. Come back again.
I told him that, Lum.
Yeah, that's right. Dad blame that Frank Foster.
Well, why don't you do something about it instead of sitting around here complaining about him all the time?
Well, what can I do? He's going over to see her tonight.
Yeah, let's see. Well, why don't you get him to have a meeting of the school board tonight, Lum, and make her attend it? That'd get her away from him.
Meeting at Granny's. Wait a minute there, Abner. I believe you got an idea.
Well, good for me.
Sure, that's what I can do. That'll bust it up.
And then you can walk home with her from the meeting.
Yeah, take her over there, too.
Yeah.
Granny's, wait a minute, though. What can we have a meeting about? Got to have some reason to call a special meeting that way.
Oh,
I know. I got that card from the county superintendent this morning. He thought I was still president of the school board. Wanted us to dismiss school tomorrow so's all the county teachers could meet in there together.
Well, I thought you said you was again that, though. Said this morning you weren't even going to mention it to the board.
Well, I am again it, but we can have a meeting and discuss it, can't we?
Yeah.
That's a good idea. I'll call Ezra Seastrunk right now if you'll help me to my feet
Here,
here.
give me a hand.
Yes, sir, that'll do it. Mr. Foster's going to have to get up awful early in the morning to get ahead of me. I'll tell him that right now.
Well, now, don't get with her tonight and get so bashful to where you can't say nothing.
Bashful? You just wait and see. I might go so first ask her to marry me. You can't tell.
Sure.
Hello, Ezra.
Bashful.
This is Lum Eddard.
Gosh, I talk to the girl.
Oh, I believe it's better, Ezra.
Big lump comes up in his throat.
Why, I called you up. I got a card this morning from the county superintendent. Wants us to dismiss school tomorrow so's all the teachers can meet in there at the county seat with him and have a meeting.
And then twist and squirm.
Well, I figured we'd better have a special meeting of the board tonight and decide about it. And have Miss Fredericks there. Get her opinion.
In love, he can't hardly see.
Yeah. Well, you talk to Squire and you can let me know. Anytime you and Squire decides on suits me. All right, Ezra. Oh, not at all. Goodbye.
All right, doggies, now you're in there fighting.
Yes, sir. This'll show that Frank Foster a thing or two. I can talk him out of that dismissing the school tomorrow, but... wait a minute, though, Abner. Maybe I'm for that.
For it?
Yeah, I just happened to think of something else here. Yeah, I might decide to go to that meeting in there at the county seat myself. Get Cedric to drive me and her in there in his car. We could sit in the back seat and ride together.
Oh, no.
Be with her all day that way.
Why, sure. Yeah, that's the thing to do.
Yes, sir, I'm for it. I know I am now.
Good for you.
Might even take her to the picture show tomorrow night.
That's a time.
Wait till that Frank Foster hears about this. Good enough for him. Anybody would try to get married in a baseball suit. Nothing. Let him go. It's his business.
Oh, yeah. Let Frank go.
That's our ring, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Ezra calling back, I reckon. Go ahead and answer.
Yeah, I'll get it.
Ask him what time the meeting is.
Hello? Jot him down, store. Oh, yeah, he's here, Ezra. What time is the meeting? I'll tell him for you, and then he won't have to get up with that broke leg,
Oh,
you know.
no, I don't have to get up. 4 to a frazzle.
Oh, just a minute.
4 to a frazzle.
No, he wants to know if you're in favor of dismissing school tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. Tell him I'm in favor of it, 100%.
Yeah, he's for it, Ezra. Oh.
Take her to the picture show.
Oh.
Cereals on Friday night.
Oh, yes. Yeah, all right. Yeah, I'll tell him. All right, goodbye.
What time?
Why, he said Squire couldn't come to no meeting tonight, Lum, but they was both in favor of dismissing school so that Miss Fredericks can go in there to the meeting. So he said if you was for it too, why, they'd just go ahead and decide on it.
Well, that's the reason I was calling the meeting. Granny, I'll be dad blamed. Well, I'll be with her all day tomorrow anyway.
Well, he said they'd made arrangements for a way to her to get in there, too.
A way for her to get in there?
Yeah. Somebody's going to take her.
Who?
Frank Foster.
Granny's Abner, I believe that's our ring.
I dog his Lum, I believe you're right.
I'll see. Hello, jot 'em down, store. This is Lum and Abner.
And now, let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Well, Lum's scheme to upset Frank Foster's date with Miss Frederick boomeranged and resulted in Frank's driving her to the county seat to the teachers' meeting today. Lum has spent a miserable day lamenting his phony leg fracture, his bad luck, and everything else he can think of. As we look in on the little community now, it is late afternoon. We find Abner in the Jot 'em Down store trying to get Lum out of his ill humor. Listen.
Well, if you don't quit sitting there fuming and fussing, you're going to work yourself right into a nervous breakdown, Lum.
Well, who wouldn't fume and fuss? Granny, a man can just stand so much of something, and that's all, Abner. Looks like everything I try to do works out right square backwards against me.
Oh, well, you ain't had nothing terrible bad happen to you.
What about my broke leg?
Your leg ain't broke. You just been making out like it was.
That's right, ain't it?
Of course it is.
Granny, I've wore these splints and bandages on there so long now, I've got to where I believe it myself, even.
But you ought to be ashamed of yourself complaining so much, Lum.
What about Frank Foster taking Miss Fredericks into the teachers' meeting today? I guess that was good luck for me.
Well, that was your own fault. You got him to dismiss school so she could go in there.
Yeah, but when I got him to do that, I thought I was going to get to ride in there with her. This dad-blame fake broke leg of mine's the cause of the whole thing. Hadn't it been for it, I could have started right out courting her the day she hit town, and Frank Foster never would have had a chance with her.
Yeah, it slowed you down all right.
Well, I'll just put up with it just as long as I'm going to. Ain't but one thing to do, Abner. I've made up my mind. Come on over here and take these bandages off.
Take them off?
Yes, sir. Just start unwrapping them right now.
Lum, you can't do that.
Well, why can't I do it? It's my leg, ain't it?
So what about all these people around here that's been so nice to you because they thought your leg was broke?
Well, I'm just going to tell them the truth and have it over with.
What about that insurance company? What if they find out your leg ain't broke after you sending in a claim for an accident?
Well, I just won't take the money. I'll tell them Squire Skimp sent that claim in. Just tell them the truth about the whole thing. Fact is, I'd rather go to the penitentiary any day than to wear these bandages and splints any longer. Go ahead, start taking them off. I've done made up my mind.
All right, that's what you want to do, but I think you're making a mistake.
Just undo that safety pin now. That's where the bandage starts right there.
I'll get it. You're going to have an awful lot of explaining to do, I can tell you that.
Then you just let me worry about that. Take it off before I change my mind now.
What about all these women folks that cooked up victuals and brung over to you?
Yeah, that's going to be bad. Well, I'll just have to face the music, that's all.
Well, I know they're going... Huh?
I say, I've made my bed, now I may as well lay in it.
Oh, thought you said something else. Yeah, well, that's all right, sure. If you're going to get in bed, well, you can pull the cover up over your leg there to where they can't tell where you got these bandages on there and all. But you ought to go home before you take them off, old Lum. Somebody's liable to sue you.
Who said anything about going to bed?
Thought you said you was going to get in bed and listen to the radio.
Radio?
Well, where else you going to get any music this time of day?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Didn't you just say you was going home and get in bed and listen to the music?
I said I was going to have to face the music.
Well, if you're facing the radio, naturally you'll have to listen to it.
For goodness sakes, Abner, I ain't going to listen to no radio, and I ain't going home and go to bed.
Well, what's the use of making up your bed if you ain't going to use it?
I never made up no bed.
You said you did.
I never done no such a thing. I said I made up my bed, and now I've got to lay in it. But I ain't going to bed.
Well, how you going to lay in it if you don't go to bed? Oh, you mean just sort of get on top of the covers there with all your clothes on, huh?
For goodness sakes.
Well, I believe it'd be good for you to go over and go to bed for a while, Lum. You're all nervous and upset. I believe a rest would be good for you. If you're just worrying about me running the stores, might not closing time anyway. Fact is, after I close up, I might even come over and listen to the radio with you.
I said I ain't gonna listen to no radio.
Well, what are you going to do? You change your mind so much, I can't keep up with you long.
I'm gonna get up from here and try to walk if you'll hurry up and get them bandages off.
All right, I'm nearly done. Just one more round here.
That's
and
good, right
there.
there.
There you are. Now.
Granny, what a relief. I might not feel that leg breathing.
Well, here, you better roll your britches leg down here.
Yeah. Just look at the wrinkles there in that britches leg.
For the land's sake.
That ain't a sight. Yeah, I'm going to have to iron that left leg of them britches tonight. Oh, might as well iron both of them while I'm at it, I reckon.
Well, the left one's the one that's wrinkled the most.
Here, let me up. Let me see how it feels to walk again.
Yeah, you've had that thing wrapped up a week now, Lum.
Yeah, it seems like a month, too. Granny, I don't know if I can walk or not, Abner. Look there how that leg's giving way with me.
Well, I do know.
Wait a minute here. You don't reckon I've sure enough got a broke leg, do you?
I don't know when you could have got it.
That's right, ain't it? I ain't fell down or nothing, have
I ain't seen you do it.
Just punishment, I reckon, for going around telling folks it was broke.
You might have strained it trying to make up your bed. Maybe we better put these bandages back on till it gets well on.
No, sir, I wouldn't put them bandages back on there for $1,000 or $100. It's feeling better. The circulation's starting now.
Yes, huh?
Granny's a feller just don't know how to appreciate two good legs until he has to go without one of them, you know what?
No. Oh, my goodness, wait a minute. Hide quick, Lum. Hide. Here comes Cedric Weehunt.
Well, I don't care if he sees me. Everybody's going to know it anyway.
Well, I wouldn't want him to be the first one to tell it, though. You know how mixed up he gets on things when he goes to tell them.
Yeah, that's right. I better study up some way to break the news to him gentle, hadn't I?
You better. They're going to be mad.
Yeah, hand me that coat there, and I'll sit down and throw that over my leg so he won't notice.
Yeah. Here, hurry. Put it over. Hurry up.
Get him out here as quick as you can. I want to practice walking some more.
Yeah, I will. Come in, Cedric.
Yeah, howdy, Cedric.
What can I do for you?
Oh, nothing, I don't reckon. I just wanted to see Mr. Lum a minute.
I thought you was running a filling station for Frank Foster today while he's taking Miss Fredericks into the county teachers' meeting.
Well, I was, but they just got back a minute ago. That's what I come over to tell you, Mr. Lum. I don't reckon I'm supposed to say nothing about it, but Miss Fredericks brung you a present back from the county seat.
A present? For me? Well, what do you know about that?
How do you know, Cedric?
Well, I just heard her and Mr. Frank talking about it.
Oh, well, what kind of a present is it?
I don't know, but I heard her tell Mr. Frank when she was getting out of the car to hand her that present she brought for Mr. Lum.
Well, I do know. Bless her heart. Bless her little heart. That's a gooder known Frank, you know it. Him taking her all the way into the county seat to buy me a present. About he's mad enough to buy.
Oh, sure.
I reckon what she's got me.
No telling.
Might be a engagement ring.
Engagement ring?
Yeah, that's right. She wouldn't buy me one of them, would she?
Of course not.
Must be something for you to use while your leg's broke, Mr. Lum, because I heard her say she felt so sorry for you because your leg was broke. Said she's going to bring it over here to you directly.
Going to bring it over here herself?
That's what she said. It's the reason I run on ahead so as I could tell you.
Oh, my goodness. Well, here, Cedric, sorry you have to leave in such a hurry.
Oh, I don't have to go, Mr. Lum.
Well, run down there and see if Dick Huddleston's store's open.
Well, I know it is. I just come by there.
Well, run and see if it's closed then.
I'll go see Lum.
You stay right here, Abner. Run on, Cedric.
Yes, Mom, I'll be back in just a minute.
Well, you needn't to come back. You can call me from over to Blacksmith shop and let me know.
Yes, Mom, I'll hurry.
What do you want to know about Dick Huddleston's store for it, Lum?
I wanted to get Cedric out of here so we can put them bandages back on my leg.
I thought you weren't going to put them back on.
Well, I've changed my mind. I believe this broke leg I is a good one, you know it?
Huh?
I believe Miss Fredericks falling in love with me on account of my broke leg. Buying me presents, coming over here to see me. Hurry up before she gets here.
Oh, my goodness, look yonder. Squire Skink coming across the street heading this way, Lum.
Well, here, hurry up.
Yeah.
I'll hold the splints and you rock that on there just as quick as
All
you
right,
can.
all right. Well, here, hold your foot up there so I can get to it.
Got it clean up over my head now.
That's good right there. Now, hold
Hurry
still.
before he
Hold them
gets here.
splints. I'm doing it as fast as I can. Doggy, it ain't a very good job, Lum, but I'm hurrying.
I don't care about that. Just get it on there. He ain't gonna pay no attention to it, no
Let
way.
me see now. Where's that pen? Oh, yeah. Here's it.
Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah, that's got it right there.
Come in, Squire. Come on back.
Well, good afternoon, gentlemen. Good afternoon.
Howdy, Squire.
I just dropped in to leave a package for you, Lum. Miss Fredericks, the new school teacher, asked me to bring it over. I saw her down the street there and told her I was coming this way.
Oh, well, much obliged, Squire.
A book, I believe it is.
Book?
Yeah, said she knew you'd enjoy it while you were recovering from your unfortunate accident.
Oh, reckon why she never brung it herself.
Well, she said she's in awful hurry, Lum. Didn't want to be late for supper. I think it's kind of a gift of appreciation because we dismissed school today to let her go into the meeting. She brought Ezra and me back one, too.
Oh, she brung you all something back, too.
Yes, well, I better be going. I'll see. Well, wait a minute.
Huh?
I'll swan to goodness.
What's the matter?
That leg of yours, Lum.
What's wrong with it, besides being broke?
Now, I'd better go back and look at that carbon copy of that insurance claim I sent in for you, Lum.
Why?
You got your right leg all bandaged up there. I could have sworn I wrote on that claim that it was your left one.
Huh?
Granny's, Abner. I believe that's our ring.
I dog it, Lum. I believe you're right.
I'll see. Hello, jot 'em down, store. This is Lum and Abner.
And now, let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. After Lum resolved to remove the bandages from his fake broken leg and to face the consequences last Friday, he hurriedly had Abner replace them when he thought the schoolteacher, Miss Fredericks, was coming to see him. However, in their haste, they bandaged up the wrong leg, and they're now afraid that Squire Skimp, who had filled out the disability claim for Lum on his accident insurance policy, has noticed the error. As we look in on Pine Ridge today, we find the old fellows down at their Jot 'em Down store. Listen.
Well, see, she's one of the nicest women I ever seen in my life. Smart as a whip. Intelligent.
Yeah.
Pine Ridge is awful lucky to have a woman like that teaching school here.
Where, huh?
Oh, yeah. She's going to be a big help to the community. Taking right a holt in the church work. I already got her a Sunday school class and all that stuff.
Yeah, I seen you over there sitting in her class. I'm going to be honest about it, too, Lum. You look awful out of place down there in front with the primaries.
Out of place?
Yes, sir. You ought to stay back there in the men's Bible class where you belong.
I don't want to be back there at you old fogies. What's wrong with me being in her class?
Well, you just don't belong there. Us fellers is all laughing Sunday.
Yeah, I seen you laughing back there. Now, what was so funny about it?
You sitting down there in that little red chair, your knees clean up under your chin.
I like a low chair that way. Makes my broke leg feel better.
Your leg ain't broke.
Well, I just like a low chair then. Besides, I learnt more Sunday listening to her than I've learned from Uncle Henry Lunsford in all the time he's been teaching that class. Him and Grandpappy Spears always winds up in an argument.
Well, do as you like. It's your business. But you looked awful silly when they had your class all march single file up there on a platform and sang that little sunbeam song.
Silly?
Yeah, and them young'uns, they never hardly come to your knees. That big bass voice of yours booming out sounded like a bullfrog had been turned loose amongst them.
Well, we have to sing that sunbeam song. That's the name of our class.
Are you a little sunbeam?
Well, yeah, I reckon so. I'll be back with the men's class next Sunday if it's going to cause all this trouble. I just thought I'd visit around among the classes and see how the Sunday school was doing.
I know why you was down there, Lum, so don't try to make no excuses. And I seen you walking home with her, too. Me and Elizabeth was walking right along behind you.
Yeah, I knowed you was back there. Well, what's wrong with me walking home with her?
Well, not a thing. That's all right, but you better watch them crutches. I noticed you walking along there with her, pinting out something to her with one of them crutches. Walking along with all your weight on that leg that's supposed to be broke.
I did, huh?
Why, yeah, folks around here is going to catch on if you don't watch it now, Lum.
I must have got so interested in talking to her, I forgot I was supposed to have a broke leg. Now, Grannies, I believe me and her is going to get along all right, Abner.
Well, what all did you talk about?
Oh, I don't know. Well, I can't tell you what all me and her talks about. Them things is sort of sacred.
Well, did you pre-post her?
Of course not. I asked her how she liked Pine Ridge, and she said fine. And I said I was glad she was here, and she said she was glad to be here. And...
Well, you told her all that the first night you seen her over at the school board meeting, Lum.
Yeah, but I had to think of something to say. Couldn't walk along there like a dummy.
Yeah, well, what else did you say?
Oh, that's about all. I never wanted to do all the talking. That ain't polite.
No.
She talked quite a bit about the school, improvements she thought we ought to make. She's got some good ideas, ain't no doubts about that.
And you never even answered her?
Oh, I said a few uh-huhs and why shores and all. Agreed with her. I'm more the strong, silent type, I think.
Well, you don't look very strong walking around here on them crutches.
No. Well, this is the first time I've been with her by myself. I couldn't just bust loose and talk a woman's arm off of her. Next time I go
Wait a
over...
minute, there comes Squire Skimp on.
Oh, my goodness. Hope he goes by. I ought to hide.
Hide?
I know good and well Squire has catched on that my leg ain't broke.
Oh, I don't believe he has.
No, sir. I could tell by the way he looked the other day when he's in here. When you put this bandage back on the wrong leg, he noticed it. I know he did.
Ah.
Well, you heard him. Said he was going home to look at that insurance claim he sent in for me. He said he'd might nigh bet it was my left leg that he told him was broke.
Well, has anybody else noticed it?
No, not that I know of. Nobody ain't said a word about it.
Well, maybe he'll just think he's wrong then.
Granny's he's coming in. I knowed it. What must I tell him?
Well, wait and see what he says. Don't get excited.
Be quiet. Morning, Squire.
Howdy, Squire.
Come on back.
Well, good morning, gentlemen. Good morning.
Drag up a chair there, Squire.
No, I can't stay long. I was just down at the post office, and Dick Huddleston asked me to hand this letter to you as I went by.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Squire. Reckon who I'm getting a letter from?
Oh, I never paid much attention. Some correspondence school, I believe it is, Lum. Says right there in the corner, from Chicago.
And I reckon what a correspondence school's writing me for.
Why, don't you know, Lum? That's more like that correspondence course that you...
You just stay out of this, Abner. Whose letter is this, anyway?
Huh?
Much obliged, Squire, for bringing it over to me.
Oh, not at all, Lum, not at all. I'm just glad to do it. Well, I better get along, guess. I'll see you men later, then.
Yeah, hurry back, Squire.
Yeah, so long. Lum, I know what that correspondence school
I
is.
know what it is. I never wanted him to be blabbing it all over town that I'm taking a correspondence course. But did you notice what he said about my leg?
I never heard him say nothing.
That's just it. He just complete ignored it. That shows right there that he don't think it's sure enough broke, or he'd asked me how I was feeling.
Oh, I think you're just imagining things.
No, sir. There was a certain tone of voice he used there when he never said nothing that sounded awful suspicious to me. I noticed he kept looking to see which leg I had the bandage on today, too.
Oh, well, I never knowed all that was going on.
That feller's going to cause me some trouble. I can just feel it in my bones. And blame if I don't know what to do.
Well, go ahead and open your letter. Let's see what course you're taking.
Oh, I forgot about the letter.
Yeah, well, did you tell them what course you wanted to take, Lum?
No, I just told them to use their own judgment. Told them all about myself.
Yeah.
I'd take anything as long as it's free.
Oh, that's right. I'd forgot about them giving you a free scholar course.
Free scholarship's what I win.
Well, whatever they call it, I don't know.
Well, I do know.
What's the matter?
Listen to this. Congratulations, new student. Congratulate me already, and I ain't even started the course yet. Thought he'd think I'd graduated with high honor.
Yeah.
After studying your qualifications, our vocational guidance director has decided the course best suited to your ability is building superintendent.
Building superintendent?
Yeah, that sounds good, don't it? Whatever it is. Maybe it says. As soon as you have completed this free course, we will probably be able to place you immediately as superintendent of a large office building in any large city you choose.
Further,
Granny, did you hear that, Abner? Going to put me in charge of a big building.
Well.
Anyone I want. I'm going to take the Flatiron building. I've got a picture of it in my stereoscope views at home. Says it's the biggest building in the world.
Well, I do know. Well, good for you. Well, Lum, just what is a building superintendent?
Oh, you saw them standing in front of big buildings with them fancy lodge-looking uniforms on?
Yeah, I saw them. Well, what are they supposed to do?
Well, they run the thing. Say who can come in that building and who can't.
They do.
Granny, I hope that Frank Foster comes up there. I won't ignore him. Have him thrown right out in the middle of the road.
Yeah, that's that time.
Granny, this will make Miss Fredericks sit up and take notice, too, you know it. Me being superintendent of the biggest building in the world.
Well, will you be leaving Pine Ridge?
Yeah, after I graduate from this correspondence school. This will give me a chance to see her every night, you know it. I'll go over there and get her to learn me my lessons every night.
Yeah, that's right. I hadn't thought about that.
I hope that Frank Foster don't catch on to what I'm doing and try to take himself a correspondence course.
Oh, well, he ain't win no scholarship like you did, Lum.
No, big dummy.
Well, did they send you the first lesson in that letter there?
Yes, that's right. I don't know. I ain't finished it yet. See what else it says here.
I'd love to see that myself.
We will probably be able to place you immediately as superintendent of a large office building or in any large city you choose.
You read that, Lum?
Yeah, I know it. I just love to hear it. Had to read it over.
I never seen you so tickled over anything.
However, before you are eligible to take this free course, you must first take the three prerequisite. You must first take the three can't say that word. Prerequisite courses. You must first take the three prerequisite courses.
What's that, Mom?
First, building maintenance. Second, office rentals. And third, janitorial service. Wait a minute here. These courses are being offered to you at a special rate of $110 for each course, or a total of $330 for the entire course.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what I say.
What?
Oh.
Oh.
Granny's, Abner. I believe that's our ring.
I dog it, Lum. I believe you're right.
We'll see. Hello, jot 'em down, store. This is Lum and Abner.
Let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Ever since Lum made the mistake of bandaging the wrong leg a few days ago, he's been afraid that Squire Skimp has discovered the secret of his fake broken leg. The old fellow is so worried over the results of what might happen if Squire divulges the secret that he's on the verge of a nervous collapse. As we look in on the little community now, we find Lum and Abner down at their store. Listen.
Wait a minute. Is that him?
Who?
Squire Skimp.
Oh, no, that's Ezra Seastrong. Oh, swan to goodness, Lum, you're as nervous and jumpy as a rabbit's nose.
I know it.
Act like you're scared to death of Squire.
He's going to accuse me of some trouble, I can tell you that right now. He knows this leg of mine ain't sure enough broke, and he's just laying back waiting for a chance to get me.
Get you?
Well, do something. He can send me to the penitentiary, and he knows it.
Well, what would he want to send you to the penitentiary for?
Why, on account of me sending in a claim to the insurance company for a broke leg when it ain't broke.
Well, he was the one that insisted on sending the claim in.
Yeah, but it was my name that was signed to it.
Well, I still believe you're just getting yourself all worked up for nothing. I don't believe he knows your leg ain't broke.
Well, he's the only one that has noticed that I had my left leg rocked up for a while, and now it's my right leg.
Well, if he knows, why don't he do something about it then?
That's the part that's making me so nervous. Why don't he come right out and do something? Get it over with.
Well, I believe if he'd have noticed it, he'd have did something about it long ago, Lum.
Well, he's got something up his sleeve.
Well,
He's working on some scheme. You can bet your life on that.
What's he got up his sleeve?
I don't know. That's what I want to find out.
How do you know he has?
Oh, I knowed the minute he seen I had the wrong leg rocked up, he was on to us.
Do you think it's a pistol?
Think what's a pistol?
Well, what he's got up his sleeve?
Of course not. What would he be doing with a pistol up his sleeve?
Well, I know it's something that you're scared to death of. Reckon it's a knife?
Abner, I don't mean he sure enough got something up his coat sleeve.
Oh, shirt sleeve, huh?
No. When I said...
Well, that's the only two sleeves he's got, Lum.
When I said he's got something up his sleeve, I mean he's got some scheme figured out that's going to cause me some trouble.
Well, that's a funny way of saying it.
What's so funny about it?
Well, just saying got something up his sleeve when he's going to cause you trouble.
Well, lots of people use that expression. When they're going to play some kind of a trick on you, they've got something up their sleeve.
Oh, yeah, sure. I know what you mean now. I saw them musicians pull stuff out of their sleeve. I bound you, it's a rabbit.
Rabbit?
Yeah, I seen a fella take one out of a hat once, and somebody said he had it up his sleeve all the time.
I mean, Squire's got an idea up his sleeve.
You mean he thought up something and put it up his sleeve?
Abner, for goodness sakes, I've got troubles enough without taking time to try to explain something to you. Granted, if it ain't 6 of one thing, it's a whole dozen of something else. I can have more troubles than all them morning radio serials put together.
Well, I still think it's just your imagination. Squire ain't said a word about it.
I know it. That's what's got me worried. If he'd come right out and say something about it, I wouldn't mind it so bad. Why don't he tell me he's going to have me sent to the penitentiary and have it over with? If he tells that insurance company that my leg ain't broke, I'm a goner, that's all they are to it.
Well, what are you going to do if they send you a check for $100 damage to your leg?
I don't know. I don't know what to do about it. That just shows how much trouble a body can get into by telling one little thing that ain't the truth.
Yeah. Here you been on crutches for 10 days or more when there ain't a thing in the world wrong with you. Just 'cause you never wanted to take Sister Simpson over to the sociable.
I know it. I'll never use that for an excuse again. Or if I do, I'll sure enough break my leg. I wish now it was broke, just to get even with Squire Skimp.
Get even with him?
Yeah, if he'd accuse me of it out in public, I could pull them bandages off and make laughing stocks out of it.
Yeah, if it was sure enough broke, why, you wouldn't have no trouble at all, huh?
Well, wait a minute. I ain't going to break it on a purpose, if that's what you're trying to suggest.
I ain't suggesting nothing. It ain't none of my business.
Well, I've got to study up something to tell Squire.
Well, I wish you would. Quit hiding every time he comes in here like you done this morning. Make me tell stories, make up stuff about you not being here.
Yeah, I know it. I don't like it either, Abner, but I don't want to make him mad, though. He could ruin me sure enough if he went to telling it around town here. Miss Fredericks never would believe me again. Everybody's been so nice to me, I just couldn't stand to face them.
No.
Yeah, it just looks like I'm just going to have to keep my leg bandaged up and use these crutches till everybody knows my leg's had time to heal.
Well, what about your correspondence course? If you take that course in building superintendent, or whatever you call it, why, you'll have to leave Pine Ridge, Lum. There ain't no buildings here big enough for you.
I decided not to take that course, though. Decided to just forget about it.
I thought it was free.
Well, the course to learn how to be a building superintendent is free. But you have to take 3 other courses that cost you $330 before you get your free one.
Yeah.
And another thing, I've decided I don't want to leave Pine Ridge no way.
You don't?
No, I ain't got nothing against living in a city, but I know everybody here, and I know I've got a better chance of being a success here than anywhere else.
Well, I'm proud to hear you say that, Lum. This town's going to grow. I always said it would. Dick Huddleston, some of the fellas are talking the other day, if we could just get a factory or two started here, why, wouldn't be long till more of them would come in here, and the first thing you know, we'd have a big city.
Well, what's wrong with Pine Ridge the way it is?
Huh?
These fellas are always trying to figure out some way to make a big city out of Pine Ridge. If they want to live in a big city, why don't they move to a city?
Well, there'd be more people here, Lum, and business would be better.
Yeah, and there'd be more stores put in, too.
Yeah.
Business is good here now, and most everybody's making a good living.
Why, sure.
We don't know how it'd be if the town was any bigger.
Yeah, but they's complaining about some of these old buildings around town here.
Well, now, there's another thing. I can't see nothing wrong with these old buildings. I like to see them painted and kept up good, but these old buildings is a part of the town. Wouldn't be like Pine Ridge with new modern-looking buildings here.
No.
They're sort of like old friends. And I know I wouldn't want to run my old friends out of town and bring in some new ones.
Oh, no, of course not.
Now, instead of trying to make this a big town, I'd rather leave it just like it is and improve what we've got. Everybody keep their places up in good shape, and the yards looking nice, and weeds cut down, and flowers planted all over town.
Yeah, well, I never had thought about it just that way.
No, there's a funny thing about folks, Abner. Of course, I wouldn't stand in the way of progress. I'm in favor of anything for the betterment of the town, but I don't think it has to be any bigger to be a better town.
Well, now that you've made mention of it, I don't know but what I feel the same way, Lum. Whilst I've been agreeing with the rest of these fellers, I reckon if I'd been wanting to live in the kind of a town that they're wanting to make Pine Ridge, why, I'd have left here years ago and went and found it. There's plenty of them.
Well, Dick Huddleston and that bunch is honest and sincere in what they're trying to do. They're good citizens, all right.
Oh, yeah.
But I'll just bet you there's lots and lots of folks all over this country that spent a whole lifetime trying to build their hometown into a bigger place, and then when they got all done, they found out they'd destroyed the very thing they liked about it.
Oh,
Wait a minute. There comes Squire Skimp again. I'll step back here in the feed room and tell it.
I ain't going to tell him nothing now. He's been coming over here all day to see you. Why don't you talk with him and get it over with? See what he wants.
I know what he wants. He's going to try to cross-examine me and trick me into admitting that my leg ain't broke.
Oh.
All right, Grannies, I'll stay here and talk to him.
That's a time.
I've worried myself about this long enough. If he gets to press me too hard, I'm going to admit to it and just let him do with me whatever he wants to.
Well, now, you better tell him not to tell nobody else, Lum.
Maybe I can pay him to keep his mouth shut.
Pay him?
Well, anything to get this over with. I feel like a criminal waiting for his sentence.
Mind. Come in, Squire.
Yeah, howdy, Squire. Come on back.
Well, Lum, I finally found you in. I've been looking for you all day.
Yeah, Abner was telling me you's in. What was you wanting, Squire?
Well, I wonder if I could see you alone for a few minutes, Lum.
Oh. Why, yeah, I reckon so.
Yeah, here, I'll go out on the porch if you fellas want to talk private.
If you don't mind, Abner, I'd appreciate it.
Oh, no, I don't mind. I might step on over to the barber shop for a while, see if there's any arguments going on.
Yeah, all right, Abner. Sit down, Squire.
Yes, thank you, Lum. Well, I guess you know what I want to see you about.
Yeah, and ain't no use beating around the brush no longer, Squire. I'm going to come right out and admit to it. It ain't broke.
What's that, Lum?
I say I'm admitting my leg ain't broke. I know you catched on the other day when you was in here and me and Abner made a mistake and got the bandage on the wrong leg, so...
Lum, do you mean that your leg isn't broken at all? Never was broken?
Why, didn't you know it?
Why, of course I didn't know it. I never would have sent that claim into the insurance company. Why, this is the most outrageous thing I ever heard of in my life, Lum. Perpetrating such a hoax on the good people of this town.
Well, I never...
That's a penitentiary offense. Attempting to defraud an insurance company. And I intend to see that you get your just desserts.
Well, now, wait a minute,
I
Squire.
came over here to see you about another matter entirely. But I don't care to discuss it or anything else with a man of your character. A man who would stoop so low as to abuse the confidence placed in him by his friends. Good day.
Granny's, Abner. I believe that's our ring.
Hi, Doggy Lum. I believe you're right.
I'll see. Hello, jot 'em down, store. This is Lum and Abner.
Let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. When Squire Skimp called on Lum to discuss a certain matter, Lum was so sure that the squire had discovered that his broken leg was a fake that he revealed the truth to him. However, it came as a complete surprise to the squire, who immediately became indignant at Lum's fraudulent act and threatened to inform the insurance company. As we look in on the little community now, the old fellows have just closed their jot-em-down store for the day, and we find Lum and Abner by the gate in front of Squire Skimp's home. Listen.
Yeah, I reckon he's home. There's a light on in that front room he uses for office.
Yeah.
Granny's, I hate to go in there.
Well, it's the only way to get it settled on. You've been so nervous and jumpy all day, you're going to lose your reasoning if you keep on.
Well, who wouldn't be nervous and jumpy? Feller get up to my age after trying to live and do right all his life, and then all of a sudden find himself facing a penitentiary.
Oh, well, now, maybe you ain't facing a penitentiary.
Yes, I am, too. He said he's going to write the insurance company and tell them that my leg ain't broke and I was trying to beat him out of some money.
Well, you had no business telling him your leg weren't sure enough broke.
I know it now, but I thought he knowed it, and I may as well just come right out and admit to it.
Yeah, well, go on in there and have it out with him. You can't be no worse off than you are. Just explain to him how come you make out like your leg was broke in the first place.
Yeah, if he'll listen to me. He got so mad when I told him he stomped out of the store and wouldn't give me a chance to explain nothing.
Yeah, well, I've got to get on home to supper, Lum. I'm late now. I'll see you in the morning.
Yeah, all right, Abner. Good night.
Good night.
Yes, who is it?
It's me, Squire.
Oh, yes, what is it, Lum? Come in.
Yeah, thank you. I just wanted to talk to you a few minutes, Squire, about this broke leg of mine, if you don't mind. See if there ain't some way to keep this from coming to trial.
Lum, before you go any farther, if you come over here to bribe me into silence, you're wasting your time. You've known me long enough to know that I wouldn't enter into any conspiracy to interfere with justice.
Well, that's just it, Squire. I ain't done nothing unhonest. That is, nothing intentional.
Haven't done anything. You pretended to have a broken leg in an attempt to defraud an insurance company out of $100.
I never wanted no money from them, Squire.
I can understand a man occasionally being tempted to make some easy money, Lum. But at your age, you should know that crime doesn't pay. And you picked the poorest way in the world to try and do it. Defrauding an insurance company. They'll catch you every time. If you needed money so badly, why didn't you come to see me? I could have shown you a half a dozen ways, or I could have let you have some money.
I don't need no money. I've got money in the bank.
Oh, you have?
The whole thing was on account of Sister Simpson.
Well, I'm not surprised to hear it. There's usually a woman at the bottom of such things. Many a man has been led into a life of crime because of the wrong kind of a woman. You can't buy them all the pretty little things they want, Lum.
Well, I weren't wanting to buy Sister Simpson nothing. I had to tell her my leg was broke to keep from taking her over to the sociable at the school.
Lum, there's no use discussing the whys and wherefores. The whole thing is, and the fact remains, that you signed a claim demanding compensation for an accident that never occurred. That is better known as fraud.
Yeah.
Defrauding an insurance company, which, as you well know, is a penitentiary offense.
I know all that, Squire. All I wanted to do was to tell you the whole story and see if you couldn't help me.
Remember, Lum, I'm the representative of the company you tried to defraud. Undoubtedly, you don't expect me to be disloyal to dear old Mid-Southwestern Accident and Casualty Company, the very people who have provided sustenance for the little wife and I lo these many years, protection against the elements, the very ones who have provided this very roof over our heads.
Yeah.
How much have you got in that bank account, Lum?
Oh, why, about $2,000.
Well, now, just how did this accident occur? Proceed. Your story fascinates me.
Well, I weren't trying to beat nobody out of no money. Fact is, when I told Sister Simpson I had a broke leg, I never had no idea they'd tell it all over town. I was just trying to get out of taking her to a party.
Well, I see the whole thing in a different light now. In other words, when you concocted this story about a broken leg, you had no malice aforethought.
No, sir.
I'm sorry I doubted you for even a moment long. I might have known, you being of a man of such high integrity, that there'd be some reasonable explanation.
Well, good. Grannies, I'm glad to hear you say that. It's all settled then, huh?
Yes. As far as I'm concerned, it is.
Well, good. Good for you. Good for me, too, far as that goes.
Now, it's up to us to figure out some way to satisfy Mid-Southwestern.
Oh.
Let me think now.
Well, do you have to tell them, Squire?
Oh, yes, they'll have to be notified. Inasmuch as there was no attending physician in your case, more than likely the insurance company will send out a doctor of their own to examine your leg. And then the whole thing would be exposed.
Grannies, I hadn't thought about that. Oh, my goodness.
If your leg could be healed by some miracle, I believe that... Wait a minute. Lum, I believe I found the answer. That's it. You're going to be healed by a miracle.
I am, huh?
A Hindu miracle man.
How can you tell?
I know right where I can get him to. Gentleman that I've known for years. Used to travel with the carnival I was barking for, connected with, managing, owned. Yes, sir, he's our man if I can locate him. And I believe I know where he is, too. I had a letter from him a few months ago.
Well, is he a sure enough healer?
Oh, yes, Lum. There's nothing fake about him. He's a square John. Enjoys a spotless reputation, but is gifted with some unknown power of healing. Of course, in this case, it doesn't matter because your leg isn't really broken.
No, of course not.
Ordinarily, I don't believe he could be induced to touch a case of this kind because of his high code of ethics, you know.
Why, sure.
However, because of our long and close friendship, I might persuade him to do it.
Well, good.
It might take a considerable outlay of money, though, Lum. His time is quite valuable.
Well, anything to keep me from going to the penitentiary. How much do you reckon he'd want, Squire?
Well, that's the trouble, Lum. His services come a little high. And his expenses down here from Kansas City will amount to something, you know.
Oh, he lives in Kansas City, huh?
Yes, he's retired now, not on the road anymore. Got a little cafe out there to town, I believe. I've got that card from him right here in this desk somewhere. I'll call him and have him down here as soon as possible.
Well, you never did say how much it cost, though.
Oh, well, I think because of our close friendship, I could talk him into coming down here for, say, just $500.
$500?
Why, ordinarily, no telling what he'd charge for a job like, or a case like this. A Hindu prince can't be run around over the country for nothing, Lum.
Oh, is he a sure enough prince?
Oh, yes, there's no doubt about it. If he were in India today, he'd be a Maharaja. He's of the nobility.
Granny, it'd be worth something to even meet a feller like that. Well, if that's the least he'll come for, it'll be worth it to get me out of this.
Oh, yes, just remember you have the penitentiary staring you right in the face, Lum.
Yeah, go ahead and call him, Squire. Granny's, I'll pay it.
That, my man, is a wise decision. I'll put the call in right now. I can call that eating joint, or restaurant of his. He's quite a world traveler. I hope he isn't in Africa, big game hunting, or hobnobbing with some of the crown heads in Europe. Where did I put that card I had? Yes, here it is right here. The Bombay Tavern. I'll call him right now, Lum.
Good grannies. I believe this is a good idea, Squire.
Oh, yes, there's no... hello? Operator, I would like to talk to the Bombay Tavern in Kansas City, Missouri, please. Yes, that's right. M.K. Skim. All right, you can call when you have my party.
How do you aim first to go about this, Squire, so that everybody will think he actually cured my broke leg?
Oh, well, we'll work that out without any trouble, Lum. Might have a big public demonstration of it. Let the good people of the town witness the miracle.
Yeah, that's the time. Then they won't have to take my word for it.
Why, no.
That'll be hard to believe unless they see it.
Yes, well, now, here, Lum, you better run along. I'll have to talk to the prince in the Hindu language, and you wouldn't understand it anyway. You just get a good night's rest, and I'll let you know about it in the morning.
Yeah, all right, Squire. Just don't know how to thank you for what you did for me. I want you to know how much I appreciate it.
Oh, tut now, Lum. I'm only too glad to do it. What are friends for if not to help one another? I've always said that.
Maybe someday I can do something nice for you,
Wait a
Squire.
minute. There's my call. Well, good night, Lum, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, good night, Squire, and thanks again.
Not at all. Hello? Oh, all right. Hello, is Louie there? Oh, hello, Louie. This is M.K. Skim. Squire. Oh, well, the deacon, then. Yes, I'd almost forgotten I ever used that moniker. Oh, no, I'm in a legitimate racket now. Yes. Oh, down in a little town in Arkansas, Pine Ridge. Pine Ridge. Yeah, say, Louie, I've got a job for you. Oh, well, now, don't worry. This isn't anything that'll affect your parole. Well, I'll explain it to you after you get here. Have you still got that old Hindu costume you used to use? Yes, you're going to be a prince again. Well, just wear the turban, then. That's enough anyway. Why, I believe I can get you $50 for it. Well, I'll get your expenses, too. Say I'll give you $50 for your expenses, $100 altogether. All right, it's a deal. Why, just as soon as you can get down here. Well, now, don't you worry. You're not running any risk at all. Yeah, well, now, here, I'll tell you where the town is so you know how to get...
Granny's, Abner, I believe that's our ring.
I dog his Lum, I believe you're right.
I'll see. Hello, jot 'em down, store. This is Lum and Abner.
And now, let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. When Lum appealed to Squire Skimp to not tell the insurance company about his phony broken leg, the Squire came through with a plan to save Lum. For a slight charge of only $500, the Squire would send for his friend, Prince Kush, a Hindu miracle man of rare powers. The prince would come to Pine Ridge, work his magic, and to all outward appearances, Lum's leg would be healed, and he could throw away his crutches. As we look in on the little community today, we find Lum and Abner in their jot-em-down store, Lum excited over the prospect of a prince coming to town.
Oh, it's the greatest idea I ever heard of. Granny, that Squire Skimp can study up more ways to get out of something than anybody I ever seen in my life.
Well, I expect he's had enough experience getting himself out of scrapes. There's a feller that's made a living for years with one shady deal after another. All is just barely inside the law on everything he does.
Well, there ain't nothing crooked about this, though, Abner. Nobody ain't going to be hurt.
No.
This Prince Alibi, something or other he calls himself, is supposed to have some kind of power of curing folks. So he's just going to cure my broke leg so I can throw away these crutches and take them bandages off my leg so folks here in town won't catch on that my leg ain't sure enough broke.
Yeah, it's a good idea, all right, I reckon. Kind of unhonest.
Well, I've got to do something. I can't stay on these crutches for no 3 months.
No, well, I guess it's all right. I just hate to see you get mixed up in anything with Squire Skimp.
Get mixed up with him? Well, he's doing me a favor. Getting me out of this whole thing. He could have sent me to the penitentiary. Putting in a claim to an insurance company when my leg weren't broke.
Well, if it had been me, I believe I'd have just writ the insurance company and explained the whole thing to them.
Yeah, and that'd have made Squire mad, and he'd tell everybody in town my leg ain't broke.
Well, let him tell it, why don't you?
I can't, Abner. I've carried it too far now. The first day or two, I might could have did it, but not now. I'd lose every friend I got in town, especially after everybody being so nice to me, sympathizing and all.
Well, it's your business. Do what you like about it, Lum.
I thought this was a good idea. Thought you'd be for it.
Oh, well, I am, I reckon. I'm just natural, a little juberous about anything that Squire Skimp has something to do with.
Oh, I'll watch him. Don't you worry about that. But he seems to be awful anxious to help me any way he can. Even talked the prince down to $500 on the job.
Down to $500? How much did he want to start with?
Well, I don't know, but them princes can't be running around over the country for nothing, you know.
Well, that seems like an awful lot of money to me.
It is a lot of money, but it's a heap cheaper than going to the penitentiary. Cost me might nigh that much to hire a lawyer to fight the case for me.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Well, when's the prince going to get here, Lum?
Why, Squire said this morning he'd be here the first of the week. He's got to find somebody to look after his restaurant for him while he's gone.
Restaurant?
Yeah, he's retired from being a Hindu miracle man. Runs a restaurant there in Kansas City, Missouri now.
A prince running a restaurant?
Yeah, it does sound funny, don't it?
Yeah.
I asked Squire about that. He said the prince was just doing this for a hobby.
Hobby?
Yeah, he wants to meet the great middle class so he'll know how to rule his people better when he gets to be a Maharaja or something.
What's that?
That's a king, or that's what the Hindus call their king.
Well, I'm sort of anxious to see what the feller looks like. But whereabouts is that country he's from? Hindu?
I don't know. India, I think.
Oh, well, I know some people from... No. Nothing. I was thinking about India, and I know some folks from there.
This is a foreign country. You saw pictures of folks from there. Hindu fakers, they call them.
I don't believe I ever seen one.
You know, they wear bandages on their heads. Turbans, they call them.
Well?
Sit around on boards full of nails all the time. Eat glass, stuff like that.
For the land's sake, well, I'd hate to eat at that restaurant of his, sit around on a chair full of nails and eat glass.
Oh, well, running a restaurant in this country, he'd have to have the kind of food we eat.
Well, I was aiming on having him over the place for supper while he's here, but he can get broke glass anywhere. And besides, I don't believe Elizabeth know how to cook it, so I had him over there.
Well, they don't eat that all the time. They more than likely eat other stuff, too, you know.
More likely, that's the reason they keep their heads bandaged up. That'd give anybody a headache eating glass.
I've heard them fellers can take a rope and throw it up in the air, and it'll stay there just like a flagpole, sticking right straight up in the air.
What's it tied to?
Ain't tied to nothing. And then they can climb right up to the top of it.
They climb right... Are you feeling all right, Lum?
That's the truth. They do it. Nobody's ever figured out how they do it, neither.
I don't believe it.
They even sleep on boards with nails sticking up all over them.
Ain't they got no hammers to knock them down with?
They don't want to knock them down. They sort of enjoy torturing themselves for some reason.
Well?
I've heard about them standing on one foot all their lives, punishing themselves that way for something.
Well, a crane must be a Hindu, then. They stand on one foot that way.
Hold one arm up over their head all their lives. And some of them stare at the sun all the time.
Hey, dog, it's worth $500 to see somebody like that, you know it. I believe you made a good deal, Lum. Can he stand with both feet off the floor?
Of course not. How in the world would he do something like that?
Well, the same way he climbs that rope when it ain't tied to nothing, I reckon.
Well, I don't know whether he does all them tricks or not. Squire never said. All Squire claimed he could do is heal broke bones.
Well, your leg ain't sure enough broke, Lum. Why didn't you just get somebody to make out like they was a miracle man?
Well, I wouldn't want to fool nobody. I don't know. I hadn't thought about that.
You could have got somebody for a heap less than $500.
Granny, yeah. But it's too late now. Squire's done hard the feller.
Yeah. Well, I reckon where he's going to stay while he's in town.
I don't know. Over at Sister Simpson's boarding house, I reckon.
Well, you better be making arrangements for him in, Lum. She ain't got no bed with nails sticking up in them. You want him to be comfort while he's here, don't you?
Well, I've heard some of these drummers talking about how uncomfort them beds are over there. They might just suit the prince.
Yeah. And instead of sitting on a chair full of nails, he wants to just torture himself something uncommon like, while he can just sit there in the parlor and listen to Sister Simpson gab all evening.
It'd be worse than sitting on any nails.
Oh, there he is.
Huh?
Squire, coming up on the porch.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there he is.
Come in, Squire.
Howdy, Squire.
Come on back and sit.
Well, good afternoon, gentlemen. Good afternoon.
You heard any more from the prince, Squire?
Oh, no, but I didn't expect too long. The deal's all set. He'll be here. Don't worry about that. I take it that you told Abner about our plan.
Yeah, but he ain't going to say nothing about it to nobody.
Won't breathe it to a soul.
See, he already knowed my leg wasn't sure enough broke.
Yes, well, that's all right, just so that nobody else knows about it.
I've been thinking about that, Squire. Instead of having a public demonstration down in the park, the prince curing my broke leg with a miracle, why wouldn't it be better to have it over at the schoolhouse?
Over at the schoolhouse?
Yeah, we can have some entertainment of some kind over there and get a big crowd, and then you can introduce the prince as a friend of yours from India, wherever he's from.
Yes, India, that's right.
And tell him that he heals broke bones. If there's anybody there that's got a broke bone, have him come up and he'll cure him. That's when I'll step up out of the audience and walk up on the platform.
Well, sir, that's not a bad idea, Lum. And as far as entertainment goes, you know the prince is quite a magician. He could entertain the crowd for quite a while with his magic tricks.
Magic tricks?
Oh, yes, does all kinds of magic, yes.
I never knowed he was trained.
Yes, does everything. And to climax his act, then he could call for somebody from the audience to come up and that he'll demonstrate his power of healing.
Well.
You can come forward after he waves a few magic gestures over your leg. You remove the bandages, throw away your crutches, and walk down off the platform a well man.
Aye, Granny, that sounds good, Squire.
We might even charge a little admission.
Yeah.
Advertise it well, might pick up a few dollars that way, Lum.
Well, I'm paying for getting him down here. If we charge admission, I get the money, though.
Yes, well, I think we ought to split it, Lum. It's fair enough. Yes, it's 60-40 for me. And speaking of finances, that reminds me what I came over here for, too. Our check came this morning, Lum.
Our check?
Yes, the $100 from the insurance company. Here it is, right here, $100. Dale Edwards. It's all yours. Or that is, unless, of course, you want to divide some of it with me for sending in the claim and all, you know.
Oh, well, here, Squire, I don't want this money. I ain't got nothing coming from them. No.
Well, I was in hopes that's what you say, Lum. I think, under the circumstances, that's the best thing to do. Now, it's made out to you, so you just endorse it here on the back. Write your name right there, and I'll mail it back to the insurance company.
Well, I'll mail it to them.
Oh, no, you better let me attend to that, Lum. You write a letter in there, and you might say the wrong thing, and then they'll catch on that your leg isn't really broken and get into a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
No, now, you just let me handle it. Here, put your endorsement right there on the back, and I'll see that everything's taken care of.
All right, Squire. I just hate to put you to all that bother.
Oh, no bother at all, Lum. Glad to help you. Always glad to help a friend.
Yeah, here you are.
Yes, that's fine. Thank you, Lum. Now, whatever you do, Lum, don't mention this to a soul. Nor you either, Abner.
Well, if Lum endorses that check there, why, nothing.
Well, yes, that's all right. Now, don't worry about that, Abner. And now, don't forget, Lum. Don't write to that insurance company, whatever you do.
No, I won't, but I want to tell you how I appreciate you looking after this for me, Squire.
Oh, tut.
Granny, if I could afford it, Squire, I'd see that you get something out of this deal, too. Granny's, Abner, I believe that's our ring.
I don't as Lum, I believe you're right.
I'll see. Hello, jot 'em down, store. This is Lum and Abner.
Let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Well, this is the day when the Squire's friend, Prince Kush, the so-called Hindu miracle man, is to arrive in Pine Ridge. This is the first step in Squire Skimp's plan to extricate Lum from his fake broken leg dilemma by having the prince pretend to heal Lum's leg in a public demonstration. As we look in on the little community of Pine Ridge today, we find Grandpappy Spears over at the Jot 'em Down store talking with Abner. Listen.
Yes, sir. A real Hindu prince. Says so right here on this handbill.
Let's see.
And you never heard nothing about him coming to town?
Well, I heard Squire Skimp say something about it. He knows him.
Yeah, that's quite an honor having a real prince visiting here in Pine Ridge.
Prince Kush, the miracle man, direct from India, will appear at the Pine Ridge Schoolhouse. Hindu magic and miracle bone healing. Admission 25 cents. Come one, come all. Well,
Yeah, what do they mean there, bone healer? What's that do?
I reckon he heals broke bones.
Well, I do know. Well, sir, I ain't much of a hand for going to shows, but now there's one I aim to see.
You do?
Yeah, I know Charity'll enjoy seeing a real friend.
Oh, they say them fellers walks on boards full of nails and eats glass and everything else. Huh, that's what they say.
I don't believe it. There's a trick to it somewhere, or other.
No, they can do it. I saw sword swallowers and fire eaters at carnival.
Oh, yeah, but that ain't like walking on a board full of nails. I don't believe it.
Oh, wait a minute. Here comes Lum. Just ask him about it. He's the one that was telling me.
Well, what does he know about it?
I don't know. He must have read it somewhere. Morning, Lum.
Good morning. Lum, I was just looking at this hand circler here. Yeah, I seen one of them. I'm anxious to see that fella. Says here he's a bone healer. Why don't you get him to try himself out on that broke leg of yours? Grannies, I hadn't thought about that. That might be a good idea, Grandpap. Of course, I don't believe in them things, but it wouldn't hurt to try. If he can't do it, it'll sort of show him up, won't it? Well, I've heard them fellers can actually do that, Grandpap. Well, I gotta see it first. Abner's telling me this feller's a friend of Squire Skimp's. Yeah, that's what Squire was saying. Knowed him years ago. I bound you Squire's the one that got him to come down here. What makes you say that? I don't know. I just figured he was.
Well, Squire's the one that's putting on the show.
Well, I know I'm going to see it. I know that.
Oh, yeah, ought to.
I believe I'll go over to the place and show Charity this handbill. I know she'll want to go.
Well, now, don't rush off, Grandpa.
Oh, I got to get on back, Abner. Got to rake and burn some leaves today anyway.
Yeah.
I'll come back again, Grandpap. Yeah, I'll be back. A real prince here in Pine Ridge.
Yeah.
Everybody's excited about that.
Oh,
you know?
my, yeah.
Granny, this thing's working out a heap better than I thought it would. You know what, Abner?
Tis, huh?
Oh, yeah. Everybody I met coming up the street just now, seen them handbills, and they's all talking about it.
Oh, it's causing a lot of talk, all right.
There's been at least half a dozen different ones this morning suggest the same thing that Grandpap did just now. Why don't I get the prince to try to heal this broke leg for me? He didn't know that's what I had in mind to do all along, the reason he's down here.
Sure.
No, sir, when I throw away these crutches and walk off of that platform, their eyes is going to bug out like a bunch of tromped-on toad frogs.
Oh, they'll be surprised to death. There ain't no doubt about it. No doubt, ain't doubt it.
I'll be so glad to get rid of these crutches, I don't know what to do.
Now, that's our ring, I believe, Lum.
Oh, I'll get it.
Yeah, good. Save me getting up, tired to death.
Hello, jot 'em down, store. Lum Abner's doing the talking.
I hate telephones.
Oh, howdy, Squire.
Hate and despise.
He is. Well, for goodness sake, when did he get in?
Who got him hurt?
Well, good. Grannies, I'm anxious to meet him. Yeah, sure, bring him on over. Yeah. All right, Squire. Yeah, I'll be looking for you. Goodbye. Hi, Granny. He's here, Abner. He's here.
The prince?
Yes, sir. Just got in town a few minutes ago. Squire's going to bring him over to the store here directly.
I doggies, I can't wait to meet him.
Me neither. Granny, I don't know what to say to a prince.
What to say to him?
Yeah, a judge, you say, Your Honor, and a king, you say, Your Majesty, but I don't know what you say to a prince.
Oh, well, over at Lodge, Ezra Seastrunk, he's a prince, and they say, I salute you, O great and noble prince.
Granny, that sounds good. It might be the thing to say, too. I salute you, O great and noble prince. Pull up a chair.
Yeah, that sounds important.
Come in, O great and noble prince. Welcome to Pine Ridge.
Well? Oh, come in, Cedric. I never seen you coming in there.
What was you saying to me, Mr. Lum?
Oh, I wasn't talking to you, Cedric. I never even seen you coming in. I just sort of practicing.
Did you fellers know there's going to be a real live prince come to town?
She's already here.
Find out, Abner. Who told you, Cedric?
I seen it wrote on a hand circler down there at the barber shop. He's going to put on a show here. It's going to cost 25 cents to get in to see him, too.
We know all about it, Cedric.
Oh. Is he going to ride a big white horse?
I don't know, Cedric.
Well, Clarabelle says he is. She's got a book with a picture of a prince in it. And he's fighting a dragoon with a sword.
Well, I don't think this is that kind of a prince, Cedric. This is a Hindu prince.
Yeah, he eats glass and walks on boards with nails sticking up in them.
Is he crazy?
No, he likes to do that.
How do you know so much about him, Abner? Your trouble, you're talking too much about this prince.
Well, you said them Hindus done that.
I never said he did, though. I just said some of them does. I don't know a thing about this prince, Cedric. Neither does Abner.
Well, Squire said...
Never mind what Squire said.
Oh.
Says on them hand circlers that he heals broke bones. Why don't you get him to heal that broke leg of yours, Mr. Lum?
Oh, I don't know, Cedric. I hadn't thought much about it.
Golly, I wish I had a broke leg so he could try it out on me. Then I would have something to brag about.
I wonder if I was... Now, don't you go getting any ideas in your head, Cedric. You get to see the prince without having any broke legs to heal.
Oh, I sure would love to shake hands with him.
Maybe that can be arranged to where you can. Uh-oh, Cedric. Maybe you better run along now. Here comes Squire Skimp and a fellow we got to talk some private business with.
Oh, my goodness, Lum, you reckon...
Be quiet, Abner. Run along, Cedric, and then you can come back over this afternoon.
Yes, Mom. Well, reckon I'll see you fellas later on, then.
Yeah, all right. So long, Cedric.
So long.
Do you reckon it's the prince there with Squire now, Lum?
Sure it is. But I never wanted Cedric to know it. We never would get shut of him.
Oh, I told you he's got one of them bandages on his head.
Turbans, Abner. Don't be calling them bandages in front of the prince.
Oh.
And I'm as nervous as I can be. Just imagine meeting a real prince.
Yeah, you're white as a sheet, Lum.
No, think of a prince coming in to jot him down.
Why, sure.
Now, don't try to sell him nothing.
I won't try to sell him nothing.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, coming in, Squire.
Well, good morning, gentlemen. Good morning.
Come on back, both of you.
Yes, thank you, Lum. Beautiful morning. Lum, I want you to meet His Highness, Prince Ali Kush.
I salute you, O great and noble prince.
Salam alaikum, Effendi, Biznayesh Poldisi, Anushokce Kolmiznet.
He says that he's most pleased to make your acquaintance.
Oh, yeah.
And your Highness, this is Abner Peabody.
How to do, sir?
Viltama no se tutti taucini.
He says he's also glad to meet you, Abner.
I figured that's what he's saying.
Patronazeska meriznikchini stiri burpol.
No, the prince says that you will be most welcome any time that you wish to visit his native land.
Well, that's mighty thoughty of him. Tell him thank you, Squire.
Yes, I will. Well, I wanted you to meet the prince, and I also want to show him the rest of the town.
Yeah, natural.
I expect I better have him step out on the porch a minute. I want to talk to you in private, Lum. Renbar Unmal Nakar, Amsgrave.
Beldik yosama snefed aye frumti de ba forisne, et ge the ode.
And you're rested.
What did he say, Squire?
Oh, he said he'd wait on the porch. Lum, what I want to see you about...
Roundabout way of saying it.
I don't like to bring up unpleasant subjects, Lum, but the prince would like to have the $500 in advance.
Well, you told me about that.
Yes, I know. I just wondered if you have it in cash there with you.
Yeah, I got it right here for you.
Well, good.
That's an awful lot of money, Squire. Don't reckon we could talk him down on the price, do you?
No, not a chance in the world. I'm surprised at him doing it for this.
Well, there you are. You count it.
No, that's all right. I'll take your word for it, Lum. And thank you very much. I know you'll appreciate it.
Not at all.
Well, I expect I better get on. I'll drop back over later and let you get better acquainted with the prince.
Yeah, do that, Squire. I'd love to talk with him some more.
Yeah, I want to learn to talk like he does. That's what I want.
Yeah.
Yes, well, I'll see you later, gentlemen.
Yeah, so long, Squire.
Well, that was nice work, Louie.
Oh, them dopes is a cinch. Did you get the dough?
Oh, yes. Got the money right here in my pocket.
And don't forget, $50 for the job and $50 for my expenses down here. That's $100 altogether.
Oh, yes. I didn't get it all, Louie. I just got a down payment. But I'll give you all I got. Here, there's $50. And I'll try and get the rest for you later.
Granny's, Abner. I believe that's our ring.
I dog his Lum. I believe you're right.
I'll see. Hello, jot 'em down, store. This is Lum and Abner.
And now, let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Well, Lum has paid his $500 to Squire Skimp, and a full evening has been arranged down at the schoolhouse for the night when Prince Ally Kush will miraculously heal Lum's fake broken leg. At least the townsfolk will think he's healing the leg, and Lum will be able to throw away his crutches and look his fellow citizens in the face again. As we look in on the little community today, we find Lum and Abner in the Jot 'em Down store, still excited over having a real prince in Pine Ridge. Listen.
Granny, I wish now I'd have had that prince cure me the first day he was in town. I never was so sick of anything in my life as I am these bandages and these crutches.
Well, I never did know why you waited so long to have him put on his show.
Oh, that was Squire's idea. He said if we had him around town and got everybody to talking about him and then advertised it good that he could heal broke bones, then they'd come near believing it when he heals me.
Yeah, well, now, he may have been right about it, too, Lum. I never have saw this town as excited in my life as they have been since the prince has been here.
Oh, it's a great event. Big honor for a little town like us to have a real prince staying here.
Oh, yeah. These women folks around town is all racing to see which could be the first one to have a party for him.
Yeah.
I think Llewellyn Bates won it, though.
Llewellyn having a party for him?
Yeah, tomorrow night. Going to be formal, she said. Have to wear a coat.
I don't know what fun he could have at a party. He talks that Hindu language. Nobody can't understand him, and he can't understand nobody else. Squire has to interpret everything he says.
Yeah, well, she's going to try to get him to do some of his tricks for him.
Tricks?
Yeah, she was asking me about it, and I was telling her all about the different things that them Hindus does. Eats broken glass and laying on them boards full of nails and all
Well,
that.
you oughtn't have told her that, Abner. No telling what they'll have him doing over there. That's all you've had in mind ever since you heard there was a Hindu prince coming to town. On the scene, eat some glass. You worried the life out of him every time he comes down here to the store.
Well, you was the one that told me about them Hindus doing them things.
I never said he done it. Some Hindus does them things, yeah. That don't mean they all do.
Don't, huh?
Oh, no. Like over here, most everybody you see smokes, but every once in a while you run across a fella that don't use tobacco.
Yeah, well, maybe he don't use glass. I don't know. But he ought to have some tricks of some kind if he's a sure enough Hindu.
Well, there ain't no doubts about him being a Hindu. He wears a turban on his head and talks that Hindu language, don't he?
Yeah, I can't understand a word he says.
Yes, Squire can sure rattle it all.
Oh, my.
Good thing we got somebody like Squire here in town to interpret for him.
Yeah, reckon where Squire learned to talk that language?
In India.
India?
You heard him telling in here yesterday when that big bunch was in here how he saved the prince's life once and they'd been friends ever since. They was hunting elephants and Squire...
Elephant?
Well, that's what he said.
Well, how in the world did he ever lose an elephant? Big as air, I don't see how in the world you could lose one of them.
He never said they lost them. They was hunting for wild ones.
Oh.
One of them charged at the prince, and Squire raised his rifle and let him have it right twixt the eyes.
The prince?
No, the elephant. So him and Squire's been great friends ever since.
The elephant?
No, the prince. He killed the elephant.
Oh, doggy, I keep jumping the track there. I can't keep up with you. I never heard Squire telling no such stories that long.
Oh, I reckon you was out on the heat for whenever he's telling all that.
Must have been. That's interesting.
Oh, you ought to saw everybody's eyes bug out whenever Squire was telling all that.
Well...
Must have been the truth, though, because the prince was standing right there with his arms folded and shaking his head, agreeing with everything Squire said.
Well...
That's good advertising for the entertainment down to Schoolhouse, you know.
Oh, my, it's best in the world, yeah.
Everybody's talking about it. Bound you, there'll be 1,000 people down there at the Schoolhouse to watch that demonstration whenever he heals my leg.
You're going to have to turn them away, Lum. You could fill that building 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, but the trouble is we can't have but one performance. I've just got one broke leg.
Well, you could let him heal your leg and for the next show, put the bandages back on there and have him cured up again.
Well, that wouldn't work. Wouldn't be honest. You can't cure me 3 or 4 times. After the first time, my leg's well.
Well, far as that goes, your leg ain't broke to start with.
Penny, that's right, ain't it?
Why, sure.
Wait a minute. Why couldn't we get somebody else to get cured first?
Somebody else.
Well, that little Davis boy's got a broke arm playing football. Let him cure that first.
Why, sure. That's a good idea.
Yeah, get 25 cents apiece for him, then empty the house and let another bunch in at the same price and heal somebody else.
Doggies, now you're talking business,
Yeah, why not think of that quicker?
Why, sure, you paid him $500 to come down here. It won't take you long to get your money back anyway.
No. And it'll be a fine thing for the community, too.
Oh, finest in the world, yeah.
That is, if we can find enough people around here with broke bones.
Yeah, let me see now. Who else is around here?
Grandma Masters has got a broke hip and forgot about her.
Yeah, that's right.
Laid up for nearly a year with it.
Oh, that'd be the greatest thing at all if he could cure her.
Well, he can do it. He can do her. You just ought to hear some of the stories Squire tells about different ones he's cured.
Yeah, I know he's a genius, all right.
Let's see, who else is it we could get? Grandma Masters and that little Davis boy, and who else?
Well, that's 3 counting you. That's 3 shows, 600 people.
Wait a minute, there they come up out there now.
Who?
Squire and the Prince.
Oh, thought you meant Grandma Masters and little Toolie Davies. Oh, why don't you just ask the Squire, Lum?
Yeah, I'm going to. I know Squire will like the idea, though. He gets half of what we take in over there anyway.
Oh, well, he'll be first-hand, yeah, ain't no doubt about that. Well, howdy, Squire.
Come in, gentlemen, come in.
Well, good afternoon.
Salam alaikum, bonarina, and shopsef el taba.
How are you today, Prince?
Okay.
The Prince has picked up a few of our American expressions.
Yeah, well, I never knowed he could say nothing in American.
That's the only thing he can say. And he's going to get himself in trouble if he doesn't stop that. Says okay to everything anybody says to him.
Fornisi biltawa l'almera chapornadas atsne.
Ben Balaman, Sam Cavola, Zill, and Hattie.
Squire, me and Abner was talking here. I believe I've got a great idea.
What's that, Lum?
Well, the night the Prince heals my leg, there's going to be more people wanting to get in to see it than we've got room for over there.
Mm-hmm.
So why don't we put on 3 or 4 shows down there and make that much more money for us?
Well, that's a good idea, Lum, but we can't heal your broken leg but one time.
No, but there's other folks around here that we could heal, too. Brad Davis's little boy's got a broke arm. Grandma Masters has got that broke hip. With me and them, that gives us 3 shows.
Cala bala sino cala sona pede binga da bola garinyadik. So bedye ola, that is more.
Yes, you're right, Prince. Proclamowitsne alcanteumbe.
Boretit.
Yes, the Prince has a point there.
Well, what did he say, Squire?
Oh, why, he thinks that, because of certain ethics, Lum, it's a great mental strain on him to, wait just a minute. Maybe I can talk him into it. Let us step out here on the porch alone. Hey, hola, I'm Squire on la porcha.
On la porchola,
Be back in just a minute, Lum.
Take your time, Squire. I still believe it's a good idea if you can talk him into it.
Yeah, this is good right here.
Hey, you dope, what are you trying to do? Get me sent up again? You know I can't really heal a broken bone.
Oh, tut now, Louie. I'll handle it.
No, you don't. I'm scrambling out of here. This job's getting too hot for me. I was a chump to let you sell me a bill of goods in the first place.
Well, now, wait just a minute, Louie. Now, they don't know it, but that Lum just gave me an idea where we can clean up some real money around this town. Lum is one of the most prominent citizens in town. The minute you demonstrate that cure of yours on him, they're all going to believe in you. Now, we'll make the others pay you a nice sum to heal their broken bones.
Hey, what's eating you? You know I couldn't heal a broken bone. I couldn't heal nothing.
Well, we don't have to guarantee a cure. We'll just say that you'll try. We'll get the money, divide it between us, and you get out of town.
Nothing doing. I don't like this setup. I don't want no part of it.
Now, don't you worry. You just let me handle it. All you've got to worry about now is healing Lum. And I know you can do that. His leg isn't really broken.
Yeah, but what about this little punk with the busted arm or that old dame with the hip? What do I do if they get up on that platform that night?
Well, now, don't you worry. I'll see that nobody gets up there but Lum. Now, come on. Let's go on back inside. I've got to tell them that you refuse to do more than one show. Come on.
Well, maybe all right, but I don't like it.
Yeah, what did he think about the idea, Squire?
Well, I never did get a definite answer, Lum. He's still thinking it over. It's a great idea, Lum, but, I'll ask him and find out what he's decided.
Yeah, tell him how much good he'll be doing everybody.
Oh, yes. Bill Thomas will be that way, do you say?
Polnezet ilgal volet. Torresen polkan jedet vort. Several body some hatful baget yadet. Liz bullion for nazet edit. All bonyadet. Called Gerigov for Siriteri Seret. Polnyade for Nich.
Yeah, what did he say, Squire?
He said, no.
Granny's, Abner. I believe that's our ring.
I dog his Lum. I believe you're right.
I'll see. Hello, jot 'em down, store. This is Lum and Abner.
And now, let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Well, the night of the big demonstration has arrived, and everyone is at the schoolhouse to see Prince Ali Kush, the Hindu miracle man, mysteriously heal Lum's broken leg. What the people don't know is that Lum's leg isn't really broken. And what even Lum and Abner don't know is that the prince is as phony as Lum's fractured limb. As we look in on the little community now, it is night. We find Squire Skimp and the prince in a small anteroom back of the platform at the rear of the schoolroom. Listen.
Well, I was just out in the front of the house, Louie, and it's packed. Now, we better go ahead and get the demonstration started. I believe we've got all inside now that we can possibly get in.
I don't know whether I can go through with this or not, Squire.
What's the matter?
I don't know. I just got a bad hunch on the whole deal.
Oh, cut, Louie, cut. This is a cinch.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, so I'll introduce you and then call for someone that wants to be healed to come up on the platform. Lum comes up, you say a little hocus-pocus over him. He's healed, walks down off the platform, and the whole thing is over.
Yeah, but I'm still worried about some of them other punks with broken bones leaping up on that platform. What do I do then?
Well, now, don't you worry about that. I had a little talk with Lum, and I told him that it was necessary for him to get up on the platform as soon as possible.
Yeah, but what if he don't? Then what? You know, he don't get around very handy with them crutches, and if he don't get up there right away after you make that announcement, I'm lambing out of here, brother.
Yes, well, now, don't worry. Lum's sitting right there on the front row. He won't have any trouble getting up there in plenty of time. Now, remember, after the healing demonstration, why, you can do a few of your magic tricks, and then we'll let them all go home.
Well, okay.
Hey, we're in a good spot here to make some money out of this, Louie. After they see you heal that fake broken leg of Lum's tonight, everybody in this part of the country with a fractured limb will be coming to you. You can name your own prize.
I'm afraid you're going to get us both in a lot of trouble with that, Squire. You know I can't heal nothing.
Oh, well, it doesn't matter about that. We don't have to guarantee results. Now, the thing to do is to collect the money first. Why, I know of at least a dozen people around this part of the country that... yes, come in. Oh, yes, what is it, Abner?
When you're going to start?
Oh, right away. In fact, we're ready right now. Tell Lum to be all ready now to come up on the platform when we call on him.
Yeah, well, I'll go back and tell him that you're just about ready to start.
Yes, all right, Abner.
What did he say, Abner?
Why, he said he's going to be ready to start in just a minute. And Lum, he said for you to be ready to come right up there just as quick as he introduces the prince. Howdy, Miss Seastrong.
Huh?
Miss Seastrong nodded at me.
Oh, Miss Seastrong. Whereabouts is my crutches?
Right here. I stuck them right back under the seat here.
You ain't saw Miss Fredericks, the school teacher, have you?
No. Why?
Nothing. I just wondered if she's here. You know, this makes sort of a public figurehead out of me, getting myself heeled up on the platform in front of everybody this way.
Oh. Evening, Miss Phillips.
Good evening, Miss... That ain't Miss Phillips. Miss Barton. Miss Barton.
Oh, well, it don't make no difference. They're sisters. I never could tell them apart.
Granny, she's going to be good to get these bandages off of here and throw them crutches away.
Huh?
I say it's going to be good to get rid of these bandages.
Caleb, we hunt hollering something at you, Lum.
Where?
Sitting right back there in the window. Over this way.
Oh, yeah. Hi, Caleb. Yeah.
What did he say?
I don't know. I couldn't hear him clean across here.
Well, what was you laughing at?
Oh, just to be friendly, I reckon. Miss Barton.
You spoke to her once, Lum.
I know it. Granny's, I hope Miss Fredericks is here.
Oh, there's Cedric coming down the aisle.
Yeah. Granny, you sure got yourself dressed up, ain't you?
Yeah, howdy, Cedric.
Howdy, Mr. Abner. Howdy, Mr. Lum.
Who are you looking for?
Oh, nobody. Just looking for a place to sit down right now. Want to get up here in front where I can see good.
Well, here, just sit right down here on the floor. I can see over you. Here, just move them crutches back under the seat here.
Yes, Mom. You ain't saw Miss Fredericks, have you, Cedric? No, Mom. Is she here? I don't know. I've been looking all over Miss Barton. Room for her.
What do you keep speaking to Miss Barton for?
Well, I've been looking around for Miss Frederick, and every time I look back in that direction, Miss Barton nods at me. I gotta speak.
Oh, Miss Barton. Yes, she does, don't she?
Hi, Tom.
Tom.
Mr. Tom. Surprised to see them out tonight. Heard Tom was down sick.
Yeah, well, he must be on the improve, I reckon.
I seen Sister Simpson sitting back there, Mr. Lum. Miss Fredericks ain't with her, is she? Where, Cedric? Back there in the back there on the right-hand side. Oh. Miss Barton. No, she ain't with her.
There comes the Squire, Lum. There's Squire right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention, please. I greet you and welcome you to this great demonstration on behalf of His Noble Highness, the Hindu Miracle Man, Prince Ally Kush. I'm sure we all feel greatly honored at having a man with such outstanding accomplishments and rare talents with us this evening. A man who has at a great personal sacrifice given of his time to be with us this evening. And now, I take great pleasure in introducing to you the Prince himself, Prince Ally Kush.
There he comes right now.
And now, the Prince will greet you in his native language.
Salam alaikum, Poltawa Sengilabon.
Thank you, Your Highness. Now, because of the nature of the Prince's work, the great difficulty in calling forth his mystic powers, I must beg the audience to be quiet and give us your undivided attention.
Miss Barton.
First, he will perform his miraculous healing demonstration, after which he will amaze and mystify you with feats of magic, mind reading, legerdemain, and prestidigitation. Are you ready, friends?
Oldisi Calmanta Charando Balabum.
He says that he is willing to try. However, because it is so difficult, he won't guarantee the result.
Granny, I'm as nervous as a rabbit's nose.
Now, if one of our good citizens who has been so unfortunate as to have a broken bone will please come forward.
That's you, Lum.
I know it. Do I look all right?
Just anyone with a broken bone, please step up here on the platform.
Here, help me get these crutches out from under the seat.
We'll have to hurry this along. The Prince cannot remain in this state for long periods at a time.
Blame it, you got these crutches stuck here.
Here, Cedric, move your feet there.
Excuse me.
Come, we must hurry this along. Perhaps our good friend, Mr. Edwards, who recently suffered a broken leg, would like to try the Prince's healing power.
Well, what's holding this thing down here?
Well, hurry up.
Get out of the way there.
You're going to lose out, Lum. There comes Miss Davis down now, leading that little boy of hers with a busted arm.
Well, I can't get this crutch loose.
I'm very sorry, Mrs. Davis, but I believe Mr. Edwards is ahead of you. Hurry up, Lum. And because of the great strain on the prince, I don't believe he'll be able to heal more than one person tonight. However, if you will remain seated after the performance is over, I'm sure that we can make some arrangements with the prince for a later date. In fact, I'll ask him right now. Fala mala bella bella.
Patrona Zeska Mediznik Chini Broom Tidiba.
Granny's there it is. I'll be right up, Squire. Help me up here, Abner.
Oh, here comes our good citizen, Mr. Edwards. Right up here, Lum. That's it. Take it easy now. Take it easy. Prince Kush, this is Mr. Edwards.
Yeah, howdy, Prince.
Salam, Buana.
The prince will now call upon his magic powers to attempt his difficult cure. We must have absolute quiet. All right, Your Highness. Proceed.
Blawa Sawakawa Ohita Rabindra Nasta Fori Voltamos Olvido Morino Mantino Chanta Ala Yipmanigo Haligazak Krempula Jolpinet Sela Voldidet Prolka Sedepo Imaltel Pompranit Yala Kawasalamala Simba Folmenet Clambidet.
Congratulations, Prince. Ladies and gentlemen, the prince says he has been successful. His great power has not failed him. Lum, you are a well man. Cast aside your crutches and walk.
Granny, I can walk, can't I? Oh, thank you, Prince. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have been privileged to witness a great miracle here this evening. You will observe that Mr. Edwards is walking off the platform, returning to his seat unassisted.
For nada Lompelta.
Look out, Lum, look out. Watch out there. Watch where you're stepping, Lum. You're going to fall off the platform. Look out. Oh, my goodness. Are you hurt, Lum?
Oh, wait a minute. Don't move me,
Stand back, everybody. Stand back. Give him air.
What's the matter, Lum? What's the matter?
It's my leg. I broke it sure as it were. Granny's, Abner. I believe that's our ring.
I dog it, Lum. I believe you're right.
I'll see. Hello, Jot 'em Down store. This is Lum and Abner.
And now, let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. When Lum fell off the platform after the prince's phony healing ceremony last night, he thought he had really broken his leg this time. Fortunately, however, it was only a slight ankle sprain, and Lum was able to throw aside the bandages, the splints, and the crutches. As we look in on the little community today, we find Lum and Abner in their Jot 'em Down store, and from the conversation, it is apparent that the Squire and the prince are losing no time in promoting their healing racket. Listen.
$300. I don't think Grandma Masters has got that much money.
Well, she's bound and determined she's going to raise it, Lum. Fact is, she's willing to do anything to get that broke hip of hers healed up.
Yeah, I don't blame her for that, but that seems awful high. Especially with the little amount of work the prince has to do. Just mumble a few words and wave his arms around the air.
Yeah.
He ought to do it for nothing. Poor woman has suffered as much as she has.
Why, sure he ought to. Looks to me like you paid him enough for everybody to get him to come down here.
How much is he charging Davises to heal up their little boy's broke arm?
Well, they're making him a special price of just $50, I think it is. On account of the boy being under 12-year-olds, you know.
Well, I don't know. I'd like to see all these folks healed up all right, but it does seem like them prices is awful expensive.
Yeah, special when the prince don't guarantee to cure 'em and makes 'em pay in advance.
Don't seem just right.
You know what seems sort of funny to me, Lum, is that the prince wouldn't do nothing about your leg when you fell off the platform last night. Long as you paid him that much money, it does look like he'd at least do something about a sprained ankle.
Well, the way Squire explained that, see, the prince was too exhausted after he healed me the first time.
Takes him quite a while to get his magic powers rounded up again.
Well, I don't see why. He never had to do no actual healing on you.
That's right, Ed. I hadn't thought about that.
Why, sure. I believe the prince is going to do a land office business around here, though, Lum.
Yeah, I don't know how many folks have called me up today wanting to know if he actually cured me.
I know it. They've been asking me that, too.
I don't know what to do. I don't know whether to recommend the prince or not. Squire says he can cure him, but I ain't got no actual proof of it. Curing that leg of mine wasn't nothing. Wasn't even broke to start with.
No, but you can't tell them that he never cured it, or they'll catch on that your leg weren't broke.
Yeah, I know. Maybe this prince idea wasn't such a good idea after all.
Well, he at least fixed things to where you don't have to wear them bandages no more, Lum, and you got to throw them crutches away.
Yeah. Seems like I just have to keep right on telling stories, though. Just get myself in deeper all the time. I get embarrassed every time anybody asks me about him curing me. Have to stand up and look my friends right in the eyes and tell them a story.
Yeah, well, it just ain't no other way out of it.
Wait a minute, there's Cedric coming up there in front.
Oh, yeah.
Look at him. Come in, Cedric.
Hi, Cedric. Come on back.
Howdy. How's your broke leg feel today, Mr. Lum?
It ain't broke no more.
I mean the one you broke falling off the platform last night.
Oh, it wasn't my leg. It just sprained my ankle, sort of.
Boy, that prince can sure heal 'em, can't he?
Well, he at least fixed it to where Lum could throw away his crutches. I'll say that for him.
Boy, I never did figure out how he done that, neither. Sitting right up there in front, too. I believe there's a trick to it.
What do you mean, trick to it?
Well, all he done was just say some of them Hindu words and wave some magics over you, and you got up and walked off.
Oh, yeah.
Could you feel the bones growing back together, Mr. Lum?
Oh, no, I don't believe I did, Cedric.
Well, can the prince fix broke watches, too?
Watches?
Yes, Mom. I've got one that won't run. I just wondered if he couldn't wave some magic over it for me.
Oh, no, of course not.
Well, he can fix a broke table, can't he?
Cedric, he don't fix nothing except something like my broke leg last night.
Well, that's what's wrong with our table. It's got a broke leg.
He just cures broke bones, Cedric, on humans.
Oh, wish I had a broke something. Boy, I sure would get him to fix it.
Squire Skimp coming up out there, Lum.
Huh?
Squire Skimp.
Oh, holler at him. I want to talk to him.
Hey, well, he's coming in.
Oh, good. He's got to come down on them healing prices for the prince.
Why, sure, you're too.
Granny, you have this town broke.
Look out.
Come in, Squire.
Howdy, Squire.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. Good afternoon. Lum, I guess it feels pretty good to be walking on two legs again, doesn't it?
Yeah, sure does, Squire.
Well, it certainly worked, I'll say that. The whole town is talking about nothing else but your miraculous cure.
Oh, my, yeah, that phone's been ringing all day, folks call me. Some feller called up a while ago from Odin and said his pa was in an accident this morning in a wagon and a young span of mules, and the mules run away, and he fell out of the wagon and broke his collarbone.
Well, tell him to come right over, Lum. The prince will fix him up.
Well, he said he was coming on. He's asked me how much you charge to fix him.
Yes, well, get him over here. I'll make a deal with him of some kind. Lum, what I want to talk to you about, now that the prince has done so much for you, I'm sure that you'll be more than glad to reciprocate.
Oh, yeah, I'll be glad to do what, Squire?
To do something for the prince in return.
Oh, yeah, I reckon so. What was it?
Why, well, we just wanted you to go over and talk to Grandpa Masters a little for us, Lum.
Grandpa Master?
Yes. His wife wants the prince to cure her broken hip. But Grandpa seems to feel a little reluctant to pay the fee. And I know, because he has such a great deal of respect for you, that you can talk him into it.
Well, don't you think $300 is a little high to ask them old folks to pay, Squire?
High? Lum, after the way that poor old lady has suffered with that hip, I don't think any amount of money that you could name is too high.
Well, another thing, that paying for an advance that away. What if the prince don't heal her?
You just let the prince worry about that, Lum. He's never failed yet.
Ain't
Oh, no.
Well, if he's so sure he can do it, what's wrong with waiting till after he's done it to get his pay? I know good and well if the prince succeeds in healing Grandma's hip, why, Grandpa will be able to dig up the money summers and be glad to do it, too. Fact is, if he can't, I'd be willing to chip in myself.
Yes, sir, so would I.
Well, now, there's no need of doing that. Grandpa Masters has the money. Don't worry about that a minute. In fact, he's already told me that he has. Now, all I'm asking you to do, Lum, is just go over there and convince him to turn the money over to us in advance. That's the only way the prince will work.
Squire, I ain't gonna do it.
What? What's that, Lum?
You heard what I said. I ain't gonna do it.
Why, Lum Edwards, you should be ashamed of yourself. After all that the prince has done for you.
Well, when you come right down to it, Squire, the prince ain't never actually done nothing for me, except what I paid him for. How do I know he can sure enough heal anybody?
Now, listen to me, Lum.
No use talking, Squire. I ain't gonna do it.
Abner, I wish that you and Cedric would step out of the store for a few minutes, if you don't mind. I have something I'd like to say to Lum in private.
Well, we won't listen, Squire.
Go ahead, Abner. You and Cedric going outside.
Well, all right. Come on, Cedric.
Yes, Mom. If you see the prince, ask him about that table leg, Mr. Lum.
Yeah, all right, Cedric.
Now, Lum, up until now, I've been very patient with you. But your attitude forces me to reveal something to you which may be a little shocking.
What do you mean by that?
Prince Ally Kush can no more mend a broken bone than I can fly.
You mean that the prince is a fake?
Yes, Lum, that's exactly right. And now, if you don't want the good people of this town to know that you played an underhanded trick on them, I would suggest that you run over and have a little chat with Grandpa Masters.
All right, Squire. All right, Grannies, I'll go over there. But I ain't going to tell him what you think I am.
What's that?
I'll tell him what a ornery, low-down snake in the weeds you are. I'll tell him the whole truth. I'll tell him about the whole thing.
Hold on now, Lum. Hold
no,
on.
sir, I mean it. I ain't going to stand by and see you and the prince swindle a poor old woman. I'm going to tell Grandpa Masters and Miss Davis and all them others you're fixing to swindle. I'll have you run out of town. That's what I'll do.
I don't think you'll do that, Lum. You know, it gets mighty lonesome up there in the penitentiary.
Penitentiary?
Yes, you know, there's still a little matter about you defrauding the insurance company, Lum, taking money under false pretenses.
I never taken no money from the insurance company.
No? If you remember correctly, Lum, you received a check for $100 from the insurance company made out to Lum Edwards. You endorsed that check.
Yeah, but I never cashed it. I give it back to you.
I cashed it, Lum.
You cashed it?
Yes, I cashed it.
You told me you was going to send it back to them.
Well, I didn't, Lum, and the check is going in with your endorsement on the back of it. So now the company has all the proof it needs that you accepted the money. All I have to do to send you to the penitentiary is to inform them of your phony broken leg.
Well,
So it's entirely up to you, Lum. You can either convince Grandpa Masters to pay us the $300, or you can be a noble fellow and tell your friends the truth and spend a few years in the penitentiary. Think it over, Lum. I'll be in my office, and when you make up your mind, why, let me know. Good day.
Well, I'll be dead.